Go ahead, Keegan.
Hey, Ryu, thank you for your time. But could you walk us through your start today, how you were feeling, and what led to some of the hard contact there for you?
오늘 어떻게 느꼈고 그리고 이제 막 강한 타구들을 맞았을 때 어떻게 이제 생각을 했는지 준비 과정도 좀 말해주세요.
일단 느낌 같은 거는 괜찮았었던 것 같은데 좀 중간으로 몰리는 게 좀 있었고 그게 또 홈런으로 연결되는 부분들이 있었어요. 그 홈런 맞았던 그 두 구종이랑 뭐 1회에도 정면으로 간 타구가 그것도 실투였는데 그거는 강하게 맞은 뭐 오늘 뭐 전체적으로 그냥 그쪽으로 공이 많이 갔던 것 같아요.
Well, I thought I felt pretty good today coming into the game, but it seemed like I left a lot of my pitches over the plate a little too much. Like the 2 home runs I gave up, and even the fly out to the center field that was over the plate a little too much. But overall, I just gave up a lot of hard hits.
Got it, Keegan? You good? Okay. Go ahead, Shai.
Hi, Hyun-jin and JS. Thank you for doing this. Hyun-jin, is there anything in common between what happened today and what happened in your last start, and maybe some of the inconsistencies you've had over the past month or so?
혹시 이제 저번 경기와 오늘 경기에 좀 이제 비슷한 점이 무엇이라고 생각을 하는지 이제 최근 한 달 동안 봤을 때 좀 이렇게 퐁당퐁당한 느낌이 있는데 그게 무엇인지.
일단은 장타인 것 같고 그런 실투들이 한 번씩 그래도 파울이 나주면은 아무래도 투수한테 도움이 좀 많이 되는데 그게 다 장타로 연결되고 한 이닝에 또 실점도 그런 부분에서 좀 많이 늘어나면서 그런 부분이 지금 이번 달에 계속해서 안 되고 있지 않나 그렇게.
Firstly, I feel like I've just been giving up a lot of extra base hits. I've been leaving a lot of my pitches over the plate a little too much, more than I hope, and that resulted in a lot of runs in a single inning. And I think that's the struggle this month.
Is there any link or connection to the forearm issue you experienced in that outing in New York?
혹시 이제 뉴욕전이랑 비교해 봤을 때 이제 폼에서 좀 문제가 있는지?
전혀 그런 거는 문제 없는 것 같아요.
No, not really in that aspect.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Hyun-jin and JS. I'm just wondering, Hyun-jin, is this something that has happened before in your career where you've had a couple of really rough ones back to back, or a bunch of tough starts over the course of a couple of months?
혹시 커리어에서 이전에 이런 일이 있었는지 조금 이제 연달아 좀 힘든 경기를 치른 적이?
뭐 그렇게 많지는 않은 것 같은데 지금이 가장 안 되고 있는 부분인 것 같고 뭐 이런 부분에서도 좀 잘 헤쳐나갈 수 있는 방법을 좀 찾아야 될 것 같아요.
Frankly, not that I can think of, to be honest. It's just one of those things. Again, I'm struggling, and I just need to find myself and try to fight back through all these.
How do you think the best way to go about finding yourself and fighting back is, especially with such little time left in the season?
이제 시즌이 얼마 안 남았는데 어떻게 이제 이런 일들을 헤쳐나가고 다시 이제 원래 모습으로 다시 복귀할 수 있는지.
아무래도 내가 가장 잘할 수 있는 부분을 찾아야 될 것 같고 내가 할 수 있는 재고 이런 거를 가져가야 된다는 생각을 가지고 그런 부분 쪽에서 찾으려고 노력을 해요.
Yeah, I think finding the best of myself would be ideal. So my command has always been there for me. So trying to get back to my original self, and everything should fall to the right place again.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Hyun-jin, JS, guys, thanks for doing this. Hyun-jin, are your recent struggles any more frustrating to you? You know, because you know that deep down you can be better than this, and you've proven to be better last season and earlier this year.
혹시 최근에 이제 좀 힘든 상황을 보여줬는데 그게 좀 답답한지 특히나 이제 작년이나 올해 초반에는 되게 좋은 모습들을 많이 보여줬는데
뭐 아무래도 당연하다고 생각하고 선발 투수가 2경기 연속 5회 이전에 나오는 거는 뭐 당연히 모든 선발 투수들이 느낄 수 있는 그런 마음이 생길 거라고 생각하고 뭐 누구나 마찬가지일 거라고 생각해.
obviously it's a little bit frustrating, especially as a starting pitcher to have an early exit 2 games in a row. I mean, it's something all starting pitchers would be frustrated about.
And during a tough stretch like this, where you've had a couple rough outings, what do you tell yourself differently from a mental point of view in between your starts?
이렇게 이제 연달아 조금 힘든 경기를 치를 때는 이제 정신적으로 아니면 멘탈적으로 어떻게 본인한테 어떻게 얘기를 하면서 준비를 하는지.
뭐 일단은 가장 좋은 거는 빨리 잊어버리는 거고 다음 경기를 준비하는 그런 자세가 돼야 되는데 뭐 요 근래 계속 안 좋다 보니까 그런 게 좀 많이 있었던 것 같고 일단 오늘 이미 지나간 거 빨리 잊고 다음을 준비하다.
Yeah, the best way is to forget about the past and get ready for the next start. And so again, just I gotta forget about what happened today and try to prepare myself for my next start.
All right, thank you, guys.
Go ahead, Scott.
Hyun-jin, I just wanted to follow up. When you're asked about the forearm there, you said not in that aspect. Are you 100% healthy right now? Do you feel good physically at this point?
사전에 이제 뭐 폼에 대한 문제는 없다고 그랬는데 혹시 지금 몸 상태는 어떤지, 몸 상태에서 이상이 있는 데가 있는지 아니면 괜찮은지.
몸 상태 뭐 전혀 이상 없고 다른 그런 몸 쪽에는 전혀 문제 없어.
Yeah, physically I feel fine. I don't feel anything different.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to questions in Korean. Go ahead, JL.
예, 윤현진 선수 안녕하세요. 오늘 고생 많으셨고요. 일단 오늘 경기도 오늘 경기지만 이런 그 시즌 어떤 전체적인 그 세부 스탯들이 뭐랄까 그 2017년 수준으로 좀 돌아가는 모습이에요. 그러니까 그에 약간 좀 몸 상태가 완전치 않았단 말이죠. 근데 지금도 그런 그때 모습이 좀 나오고 있다는 거는 비슷한 상황이라고 보면 될까요? 그게 아니라면 뭐 원인이 뭐라 생각하시는지.
So the question is, I mean, looking at this overall stats, seems like it's mirroring what happened back in 2017, and back then it seemed like you had some issues with your physical body. Could we look at it in that aspect that you might be struggling with physically?
그때까지의 기억은 잘 안 나는 것 같고 뭐 일단은 제가 지금 하는 거는 뭐 지금 선발 투수가 할 수 있는 역할을 못 하고 있는 거 그게 다고 뭐 몸이나 뭐 이런 거는 전혀 문제 없고 뭐 그때 기억을 떠올리고 싶지도 않고 못했을 때 기억을 하는 거는 안 좋기 때문에 뭐 잘 모르겠어요.
To be honest, I don't really remember back then, but right now I'm just frustrated that I'm not fulfilling a starter's role. I mean, I can't really remember what happened back then, to be honest, but I feel fine physically, and I don't really want to think about the past.
그 이전에도 좀 이렇게 좀 안 좋을 때 한번 쉬고 가는 게 도움이 됐었단 말이죠. 그 지금 뭐 팀이 좀 중요한 상황이긴 하지만 한 번쯤은 좀 이렇게 쉬어가면서 좀 이렇게 정비를 할 시간을 갖는 것도 좋지 않을까요?
So previously, there's in a situation like this, there are times where they skipped you or you had an extra day of rest. I understand that it's a very crucial time of your season right now for the team, but don't you think a little rest could be beneficial?
뭐 그런 생각을 해본 적도 없고 그렇게 하고 싶은 생각도 없고 내가 할 수 있는 거를 못해서 지금 이런 얘기들이 나오고 있는 것 같은데 뭐 그거는 아닌 것 같아요.
Yeah, I don't really want to think about it that ways. And on top of that, I don't really want to do that. I mean, the talk right now is all going because I haven't been performing well. So again, I don't really want to think about it.
Charlie, these inconsistencies we've seen from Ryu recently and stretching the last few months, what do you think has been the main reason, the main thing going on with him?
His command. When it comes to Ryu, it's all about his command. When he's really good, he commands all his pitches. And right now, he's having a struggle with his command, so he's leaving a lot of pitches over the head of the plate.
And given the urgency of just a couple of weeks left in this season, does that worry you at all, or how do you approach that as a manager with someone like Ryu who does have a track record but isn't performing right now?
I mean, when it comes to a guy like Ryu, there's always a chance he's gonna make an adjustment and he'll be lights out next scene. Next outing. So he'll be fine. But it's all about his command. If he gets it, which he could because he's done it before, he'll be fine.
Thanks, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Shai.
Hey, Charlie. Sometimes when pitchers have issues with command and inconsistencies in their velocity, the way Ryu does, there could be a physical issue that's driving that. What's your sense in terms of how he is physically and what type of potential adjustment that might be needed there to get him back into his command?
Yeah, I mean that would go with any pitcher, that there's always an option that, skip starts and stuff, but it's not only Ryu, that could go for anybody. So, but he hasn't complained about anything. It's just his command hasn't been there. And that's one of the reasons, he has struggled, but he's fine. He's healthy. He hasn't complained. So it's all about his command. If he gets it, he'll be fine. Like he's always done in the past. All
right. And obviously today you in a situation where you had to extend some guys, obviously you used a bunch of relievers to cover the 7 innings there. You coming off an off day, but how is your bullpen situated now moving forward?
Yeah, actually, there were guys that needed to throw that haven't thrown in a long time. So, it was good for Ross to go his 3 innings, stretch them out because you never know what could happen. And Merriweather, Pearson, Boracchi, all those guys haven't thrown in a long time. And so Simber. So it was good that they got some work and they kept us in the game.
All right. Thanks, Charlie.
And we should be fine tomorrow. To finish your question.
Okay, go ahead, Caitlin.
Hey, Charlie, you mentioned nothing's physically wrong with Ryu, but would there be any thinking to finding him some extra rest and potentially skipping a start for him?
Again, that goes for anybody. That's always an option, but he's fine, but that's always an option with any pitcher.
And just with Stripling, if he went 3 today, is he built up? Could he go 4 or 5, or are you guys going to cap him around 3?
He almost threw 50 pitches. So of course, if we need him to go long next time, he could go, 55, 60 pitches his next outing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Charlie, I guess you sort of answered this with Caitlin's question, but given that Ryu is who he is and given his track record, do you have to keep giving him the ball every 5 days because you know that any time he could come out of this?
Yes, and I trust him that much, and you guys have seen it, Just last few outings, of course, his command hasn't been there, but he's that guy that can make an adjustment just like that from outing to outing, and we trust him. So, yeah, he could do that easily.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Hey, Charlie, just to kind of add on to a couple of those questions, do you think there's a chance you guys would ever use an opener in one of Ryu's starts?
No.
Never? Okay.
I never say never. This year, no, I don't see. No, he'll be fine. If he makes an adjustment, he'll be fine. It's all about his command.
And with a guy like Ryu, who's a kind of a proven veteran in the league, does he give you a bit more confidence when he's struggling than some of the younger guys on your team?
Yes, and that's why I'm saying. That's why I said when you asked that question about opener, he's that guy that can make an adjustment from start to start and be fine.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, JL.
Hi, Charlie. It's about you. Do you think, do you consider giving him more time to make adjustment, like keeping one start, skipping one start, or giving more extra days, do something like that?
Does he need more time to make an adjustment between this start and the next?
Between starts?
Yeah. Does he need more time than between this?
I mean, he's done it in the past. You know, he's making adjustments. So, you know, I mean, we'll see. You know, but again, I trust him. You know, he's a good pitcher. You know, he's been our ace. Of course, Robbie Ray's done a good job this year, but I could see Ryu making an adjustment next outing and do fine.
So you think he still deserves in your rotation?
What?
Can you repeat that, JL?
I'm sorry. So do you think he still deserves in your rotation? If he still deserves your starter?
He's starter in your rotation.
If he's starting in a rotation, yeah.
Yeah.
You're breaking a little bit. That's why too. That that's not an understanding. You're breaking, so that yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, a little bit breaking.
Okay.
Go ahead, Keegan.
Charlie, just very quickly on Vlady taking that home run lead back again tonight with his home run there. These past few weeks, I think that's like 10 home runs in 18 games, close to that. What has this stretch shown you? Is there anything he's shown you that he hadn't already? Something that he's improved recently?
No, he keeps surprising me every day, and he keeps breaking records as with his age. You know, I think he just tied Joe DiMaggio or something like that. That's pretty awesome. You know, for the youngest guy or something like that. That's kind of record like that. That's outstanding, man. This guy's one of the best hitters in baseball at that age. That's pretty cool.
I appreciate it again, Charlie. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Shai.
Hey, Charlie, just to reiterate some of the discussion, you've said that a day off could be an option for a pitcher, any pitcher at any time. But what would the circumstances be for you to come to the conclusion that Ryu would benefit right now from an extra, or from skipping a turn or getting some extra day of rest, especially given where you are in the schedule and what's at stake right now?
Like I do with anybody else, any other pitcher, communicating, see how it feels and all that stuff, you know, talking to Pete Walker, having a conversation.
All right. Thanks, Charlie.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
All right, guys.